Pikmin 4 is crazy. I'm talking Louis getting dragged away by a bread bug crazy. With the game being out for over 3 months now, a lot has happened. And there's a lot of things that can be said about Pikmin 4. In an age of video games that constantly get hyped up and then underdeliver, I am super happy to say that Pikmin 4 lived up to the hype. And it looks like it might be able to win some awards in the upcoming Game of the Year showcases as well as other events. This video here is my little tribute to Pikmin 4 from a fan who's been with the series for over 2 decades now. In this video I'll explain why Pikmin could and should win some awards. Pikmin 4 starts off pretty slow and it has a fairly lengthy tutorial. This is one of the biggest points of criticism I noticed about the game. It's honestly not that bad, especially since once you get through it, the game just lets you run free with all your Pikmin and Oatchi. It's not necessarily a strike against the game, but it could leave a negative impression for those people that don't like lengthy tutorials. Apart from that though, Pikmin 4 is similar to all the previous entries, but it also differs at the same time. You unlock reds early on and then you unlock all the other types throughout the campaign. One of the best features is that they went the hey Pikmin route and had Pikmin available in the wild, meaning you could get a Pikmin type before you ever encountered the onion or a flower. I would have loved to see Pikmin doing more activities other than fighting or standing idly, but that's still a great feature that they added Pikmin in the wild into the game. The fourth game also differs in the sense that you can only have 3 Pikmin types out at a time. You can obviously get more in caves with flowers. On top of that, you're unable to have 100 Pikmin until you've collected enough Flowerlicks. To be completely honest, I'm not too sure if I really liked or disliked these changes. It's definitely different, but I'm on the fence about it since it was never in the previous Pikmin games. What I'm not on the fence about is the dog change. Oatchi. Oatchi is great. He's the most overpowered thing to have ever entered a Pikmin game. In previous games you had to decide between having a lot of Pikmin but making it harder to keep all those Pikmin out of harm's way, or have a small combat unit that was easy to maneuver. Now with Oatchi, they just all hop on his back and you can have as many as you want with literally no risk. A lot of people dislike Oatchi, or rather dislike the aspect of Oatchi, that he's literally an easy button, and he single-handedly is the reason many people think Pikmin 4 is the easiest game in the series. But as someone who hates seeing Pikmin die and spent hours punching everything to death in Pikmin 2, Oatchi is honestly a dream come true. Especially for deathless runs, and the reset button. We like that too. Nintendo put a lot of effort into this good boy. It definitely paid off in making the gameplay more accessible for a large majority of people. The difficulty of Pikmin 4 is still not super simple though, even with Oatchi, and it does require you to master your Danduri, especially in the timed Danduri challenges where you have to multitask and micromanage in order to succeed. Even outside of mini challenges, you still have to plan how you're going about clearing the area in the day and in the night. The nighttime mission modes are completely different compared to anything the series has shown before, as they turn Pikmin 4 from a real-time strategy game into a tower defense RTS. This is a unique game mode and I'm pretty sure many people enjoyed this, especially since these little glow guys are super strong, and taking down waves and hordes of enemies with these little buddies was a lot of fun. Part of the enjoyment of this also comes from the outstanding level design. The level design is super nice and meticulously balanced to make a wonderful world that just feels alive. You have beautiful above ground areas that are filled with dangers and terrors around every corner, but you still have a lot of room for peaceful and calm areas as well. The caves are back just like in Pikmin 2, but unlike in the previous game, they are all set with intricate puzzles and designs to make the caves have their own unique gimmicks. The enemies and bosses thrown into the caves allow for a fun and memorable experience which range anything from peaceful areas to running for your life to having an epic boss battle on every single floor. Not everything is positive about Pikmin 4 though. Like any game, it does have a few negatives. The first is not really a big negative, but it is worth mentioning. And it's that Pikmin 4 doesn't match the post-apocalyptic theme that the previous games had. This is most evident in the hero's hideaway, the interior of the house. This is because the house should be overgrown with plants and other wildlife. However, it's rather pristine. And again, this isn't necessarily a strike against the game, since Nintendo clearly wanted to go for a more clean look that is more appealing to the average consumer. The other reason that is quite negative is the fact that enemies never respawn above ground. They do respawn in caves after completion, which is a little odd that that happens in one and not the other. It's not a super big deal, but it is one of the things that long-term Pikmin fans complain the most about. Speaking of enemies though, the enemies are very well designed. You have a lot of classics returning in all their glory, but you also have a lot of new amazing enemies, like a disco ball who has different attack phases and stomps to the music that they create. The mechanics of the enemies aren't the only thing though. A lot of enemies have these amazing idle animations like the Master Hop that just bring them to life. And the best part of it is that you can also interact with all of these enemies in the Piklopedia, which is such an amazing quality of life feature, and this is just one of the many quality of life features that was added in Pikmin 4. Making Pikmin 4 just have so many little things piled up together that just make the experience so much better and more memorable compared to other games. The amount of care and attention put into all the small stuff and the ways that different Pikmin interact with the world around them is just great. From frozen enemies shattering, to the ground disappearing as frogs hop, Pikmin getting cold in certain environments, and Pikmin singing. It's all just great. I said this at the start of the video, and Pikmin 4 is an amazing game, worthy of winning some awards. Only time will tell, but I'm sure to vote for Pikmin 4 in whatever category they come up in. It honestly just truly amazes me how a game focused on all the tiny little details, both literally and metaphorically, managed to create such a grand and wonderful experience.